Hello, housemates, and welcome back to Avernum, Escape from the Pit. So, we're tying up loose ends, trying to do all sorts of stuff like that. Alright, let's see if we have hardwood box somewhere on here. No? How can I... Grr. Not even a quest item. Right, well, I think that Mina is in the other place. Spire. I feel like she's the mayor. So we're probably going to make us pay again to get in here because, you know, they don't like us very much. No? Okay. Yeah. Alright, so this, I have a feeling this could go badly. Alright. I brought a small package for you. Give it to her. She takes the package, inspects it closely, and grins. Excellent. She gives you a small pouch of coins. Disappointingly small. Return to Almeria and speak with Dexter, and I'm sure you'll be rewarded further. I've found evidence that you're sending thieves to raid the Great Cave. She pretends to be unconcerned, but you see for a moment fear in her eyes. You fool. If you truly worried me, I'd have you struck dead where you stand. But because I pity your idiocy, I will let you live. Get out of my sight. Alright, well that went well. Alright, so there's a ton of stuff we can do going from our boat, not even going into the northern waters up there. So let's start exploring around and see what we can find. Here's as good a place as any to start. Acid shower scroll. There's like a whole big area we've discovered here. You are at the bottom of a gigantic shaft rising far upward beyond the range of your light. A narrow ramp spirals up its sides. It's clearly ancient, and it's too worn to tell whether it's natural or man-made. You climb and climb, daring to hope you might have found an exit from Avernum at last. Your hopes are dashed when you climb to a point where the stone shaft seems to have dripped together and melted, sealing you in with millions of tons of rock. You climb back down. Okay. Is this a dragon lair? As you approach this narrow land bridge, a crowd of spirits rise up in front of you, floating out of the solid stone of the cave floor. Each of them looks like an adventurer, brutally killed years and years ago. They watch you, waiting for you to act. You approach the shades. One of them says, "We are the doorkeepers of Khoth. The mighty dragon beyond will consider allowing you to approach him. Pass beyond so that you may be tested. And do not steal like we did in our foolish lives, or your fate will match ours." The shades sink back into the stone. You may pass. All right. So we found the lair of Khoth, finally. What? Oh, I guess we're being tested. So I'm going to guess Iron Warded means you have to kill them with spells, and then Rune Warded means you have to kill them with weapons. I'm pretty sure I've seen that in one of the later Avernum games. So it's not like I just randomly guessed it. Your golems are a joke, dude. This is the lair of Khoth the Mighty, Khoth the Wise. All thieves will feel his wrath. These gigantic halls contrast sharply with the rough, natural stone outside. They are lovely and beautifully built. They also look like recent construction. Every sound you make echoes up high, arched corridors into distant amphitheaters. When you look closely, you see that the stone blocks of the floor are covered with tiny scratches, as if from reptilian claws. It is very cold in here. Not natural cold, but of the undead. Shades pace up and down the halls, dusting and moving books around. Khoth must find undead servants to be more reliable. Well, that's just great. You look through the books in Khoth's collection. It's an amazingly eclectic lot. Some of the books are recent. Some of them are so old that they crumble when you touch them. Oops. Some scrolls are in languages whose speakers are long dead. Very interesting, but you don't find anything of immediate value. There's a row of large leather scrolls in this pedestal, each wrapped around a bar of cold steel. You notice that there's an open space in the row. One of these scrolls seems to be missing. You realize that the leather scroll you have is identical to the ones on the pedestal. Perhaps it belongs here. There is a ring of statuses around the pedestal. Their eyes glow red. You can't shake the suspicion that they are watching you. Well, let's just leave. We'll talk to him about the scroll before we put it in. Okay, prisoners. Right. This tunnel leads down and away from Khoth's lair. It provides a hidden exit in case of attack. Well, this looks terrifying. A long, sinuous dragon sits coiled here, lost in contemplation of a long scroll. When you approach, he looks up and grimaces. "I am Khoth. You are disrupting my solitude, little human. Say what you have to say, quickly." A priestess in Formello told us that you might have a book on the history of priests in Avernum. He thinks for a bit. "Yes, I do. It is a trivial and uninteresting topic, but a tome on that subject does rest in a less interesting area of my libraries. Look on the shelves by the Spiral of Runes. If the rats haven't eaten it, it is there." You have an amazing library here. "Of the dragons in these caves, only Brother Motrax and I appreciate truly the wonders of learning, the joys of intellect. The difference is that I prefer solitude and he doesn't. But then, he hasn't been cheated yet, like I have, by humans. At any rate, he is much wiser than my other siblings." Tell me of your other siblings. "Athron only wishes to be alone in her hole. Fool Pyrog plays foolish power games with the mortals of the tunnels. Sulfras is good for contemplating her own might and little more. We dragons are a strong and proud lot, but can be as capable of foolishness as you mortals." I'm looking for part of a password to the exit for the surface world. He thinks on this. "Interesting. I know nothing of that. However, I think my sister Athron told me that she had such information. She was trying to sell it to me. I refused the knowledge, thinking it valueless. This may have been an error." We already know where she is. "How do you feel your time here alone?" He snorts. Smoke and flame billow forth. "I increase my wisdom most of the time. The rest I deal with intruders." Am I an intruder? Perhaps. Normally, I'm not one to welcome humans. I once was. Not anymore. Then you have had dealings with humans before? He angrily breathes flame into the air. You are Avernites. You are not of the Empire above. Were that not the case, you would be dead now in vengeance. Vengeance? Oh, your death would be slow and agonizing. His claw rakes the ground in anger. I would entrap you in barriers, and starve you, and burn you for days and years. This is the reward for cheating a dragon. How were you cheated? His eyes blaze. A long, forked tongue licks his lips. He struggles to contain himself. Humans from above came to me once, offering a deal. I would make wards for a tower of theirs. In return, they would give me many books from the surface. I made the wards, but they gave me only a few books and stole something as well. Perhaps I can recover what you lost? Oh, no. I know the trickery of you humans. I will tell you where the scroll is, and you will find it and steal it. I will not be fooled again. Okay. Would you teach me magical rituals? He laughs. Teach you, tiny, foolish humans? What have you done for me? Why should I? Alright, well, let's go put that scroll back, and maybe I'll change his tune. You place the scroll with its siblings. The row is now complete. Nothing dramatic happens. Would you teach me magical rituals? Wait, come on, I put the scroll back. The floor in this library is covered with small glowing runes. There are thousands of lines of them, curving and spiraling across the floor, each one painstakingly and intricately carved into the rock. The patterns are beautiful and hypnotic, but if they have any meaning, it escapes you. To understand what they are for, you would have to know a lot more about dragons than you do now. Alright, this is the book on history. I'm not stealing anything from you. The book on this pedestal is coated with dust and reeks of decay. It has the appearance of a spell book. Perhaps Khoth forgot that it was back here. Yes, dispel barrier level 3. Thank God. I mean, that didn't say that I was stealing it, so... So now I'm sort of perplexed. I put that scroll back. Speaking of dragons, what is that huge circle of runes for? That is, safe to say, none of your business, human. You do manage with difficulty to understand the writing. It's the journal of a band of adventurers dating back to the early days of the Empire, when it was possible for some free souls on the surface to seek excitement. It's very interesting reading, and you learn a lot of helpful tips and tricks designed to make the adventuring life easier. Alright. Come on. I put that thing back. Alright. Maybe if we leave and come back, something interesting will happen. I mean, importantly, we got the Dispel Barrier thing. Now there's like a whole bunch of places to visit where we can use that. God damn it. I wonder if I maybe... whatever. Maybe we'll have to come back here at some point for some other quest. Actually, we can probably just fly to this, yeah. Rod of Alacrity. Yeah, Orb of Thralny. There is a massive basalt fortress blocking the corridor. It is a pair of twisted, closed iron gates, blocking your progress. As you watch, the gates open, and a huge band of demons and other strange creatures emerge. They wait for you to approach, clearly ready to fight some humans. No, I think that's... Demon Hunter, the Grahoth stuff, which we don't want to do quite yet. You emerge from the passage and are greeted by a hellish vision. The cavern is a blasted wasteland of mounds of pumice, volcanic ash, and sharp, jagged obsidian. The choking aroma of rotten eggs makes you feel faint. In addition to the sound of bubbling mud and venting steam fumaroles, you can also hear the hisses, howls, and roars of the creatures who live here. In the absence of humans, Nephilim and Slithzurkai, flesh-devouring monsters have prospered. Alright, more Orb of Thralny territory here. There is a large group of lizards warming themselves near these fumaroles. They have formed nests out of large piles of white stone. The lizards are small and innocent looking. You think you see a glint of metal at their nests. Let's leave them be. You don't think anyone intentionally built this stone hut in this ridiculously hard-to-reach location. It looks like cavequakes opened up the fumaroles blocking the corridor after the hut was built. There are bones on the ground. They look sort of human, except for the fangs. Whoever these people were, they must have been trapped here by the disaster. You search the hut. There's lots of lava bat guano and broken pottery. No treasure, though. Either the residents were poor, or someone looted the area before you. You have the luck to notice that there are several stone tablets in the guano. You scrape the scum off and realize that the thin sheets are covered in writing. Between the script and the wear, it's very hard to read the writing. You can tell one thing, though. It's some sort of magical inscription. You can improve your knowledge of the spell Cloak of Bolts. Okay. You encounter a wandering human wearing tattered robes. He is followed by several mindless sentinels. One look at him reveals that this harsh landscape has left him quite mad. It's amazing that he's still alive. When he gets close, he starts to rant at you. Came for the demon, I did. Came to battle Khoth. But his mind, it touched mine. Oh, the power. Oh, the ancient knowledge. Now I see how wrong it is to fight him. How wrong it is for you to fight him. Tell me you will not. Tell me you will never defy his majesty. I will battle all evil in Avernum until my dying day. Foolish adventurers, I will dispatch you as a mercy. Otherwise, Khoth's torments will curse you eternally. You'll thank me later. The man waves his arms, and the sentinels that follow him lumber towards you. Tough old wizard. Yep, got him. Now they're all nicely grouped up. You can try divine... Oh, okay, that's what that is. I don't know how it decides who to hit. Oh, wait. I was like, is she going again? Try... Yeah, I'm not quite sure who it hits. Or how it decides who to hit. The mad, dead wizard had an ivory wand in his hand. You take it. Crystalline wand. Avoid them crystal fields here. Okay, here's a cave of some sort. Blocked passage. There is a message floating in front of the gigantic magical barrier. It is written in letters of writhing green fire, suspended in midair. The writing is in a language you've never seen. Then, after a few moments, the letters fade and reform in a language you understand. Here is the grave and hiding place of the Vanatai race. One day may we return to reclaim our home with love. Until then, we sleep. Then, after a minute, the words reform into the previous unfamiliar script. Alright, well that's weird. Mercuric plate. Alright, well those barriers we can't get through, and that just means they're like plot barriers. It's interesting. It's a passage to the lands of that race that we've just sort of heard of very obliquely in a couple places in the game. Really? They're gonna make me fight this. Fine, knock me back. Our spellcasters are just totally boss now. Okay, we can fly over this. There are several sentinels standing in this stone alcove. When you get close, they raise their weapons, or stone fists, depending on what they have available. To get closer would be interpreted as a challenge. Nope, I'm going in. Demon Golem, Skeleton Warrior. Interesting. Are these demon golems, do they count as demons for the purpose of being a slayer? Can't really tell. I think not. Let's try Ward of Elements here. Good idea. Alright, this could be a bit rough. Irritating. At least they're all going after him. Working for once, that sort of challenger skill. What do we want to do? Let's do, motherfucker's gonna fucking die. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what we need. Oh, am I immobilized? Okay. Man, that takes a lot of spell energy. BleakHaus. Pretty tough. Okay, there's a cave back here. There is an ancient tunnel carved into the end of this passage. The entrance is cracked and covered with slime. Multiple cave-ins have left the entry almost completely blocked. The passage is 20 feet long and emerges into a small square chamber. In the middle of this tiny, well-hidden cave, you find a mummified body in a bier. The body is strange and alien. It was a tall, thin, angular humanoid. The body is covered with wrappings and decorated with bizarre runes. You have never seen a creature like this before. You wonder what it is and where it came from. The body holds a curving blade of delicately carved obsidian on its chest. The blade slowly oozes a greenish goo. Take it. Venomous blade. Ooh. Who has that? Venomous blade. Plus 8% chance to hit. Acid. Poison. Chance to riposte. So it's just basically a better version of the acid sword. Well, dude needs an alternative weapon to Demon Slayer, and the wave blade here is kind of weak. We'll just have to remember to equip Demon Slayer when the time is right. Alright, are there any other things that I ought to be switching around in terms of equipment? You have that first expedition ring. The Incanter's ring is much better. You have the 10 Blessings band. You have the Basalt band. Let's put on... Ow. $666 to $234, or 66 to... Alright. Okay, I think we're pretty much set with what we're going to be using as equipment. Alright. Lots of good stuff around here. Oh yeah, there's this ruined, blown up place. I just walked straight into that. That was dumb. Right, these guys are probably... They might be immune to venom. Nope. Or acid, I suppose, I should say. So we're both using acid blades here. Oh man, none of them died. They really don't like her. So she's probably going to die of the debuff. Not quite. Her healing is just ridiculous. That was the weakest heal spell. It still did pretty much all of her hit points. All right. Alright, let's check this place out. Once upon a time, there was a fort here. It was an impressive structure hewn from the living rock and protected by massive stone walls. Then, some being of incredible power came here and razed it to the ground. Gigantic claw marks, charred walls, and melted stone mark the wrath of a mighty beast. I think we already know This is the doing of Khoth. This was the largest building in the fort. Whatever decimated the place broke it open, systematically exposed each room, and then blasted everything inside with intense fire. Man, Khoth is vindictive for sure. Oh, fuck. Well, that was weak. Ah! Alright, these seem to be the weakest of those types of critters, at least. Oh wait, they're probably immune to that. Oh, they're immune. Balls. Zinnia of Clarity. Alright, so we got a named eye beastie. Ouch. Switching our wards around. Oh, come on. Fuck you. was hoping she had like a... Fuck you, dickhead. Yikes. Not expecting that. Possessed bow. Heart Striker. Attack does critical damage 50% of the time. Fucking gross, man. So... I think we're definitely going with the Heart Striker here. So this, yeah, this is better. I can just give you a bow since you have a bow. Alright, well that was ugly. What else is in this godforsaken place? Barracks. Heart Striker! Just conserve our spell and... Ah, fuck off! Lightning bats, come on now. Bye, dickhead. Oh, come on. Fuck you. Didn't even get anything for all that. Well, here's a nasty altar. Any... No. Well, this place looks untouched. Who's gonna be angry if I steal something here? Oh, we can undo this barrier. Nice. The next person in line for Wisdom Crystal is you. Let's... Oh, you've gone up a level recently, actually. I'll just go ahead and use it. Alright. Unblock this. It's a ghost. There's a vellum scroll inside this desk. It has remained surprisingly well preserved despite the devastation. It is a plan for some sort of underground fort. It seems to be located just to the west of a large chasm. There is an interesting note attached to the plans. You read it. We must be careful of the giants. Their castle is dangerously close. Fortunately, they have no way of crossing the chasm. Move the dragon scroll there as soon as possible. The mages there may have more luck deciphering it. It may have information on being trapped inside the crystal. On the being trapped inside the crystal. Lethe. Giant's castle? Dragon scroll? Something being trapped in a crystal? Very interesting. We already know all this. There is a ghost here, barely visible in the shadows of the room. A human, you think, nicely dressed, very faint. It starts to speak. You need lean close to hear what it says. Is it gone? Is it gone? Has it destroyed the fort? What happened to this fort? I couldn't hide. It caught me, burned me. It had its revenge. Revenge for what? We took its scroll, sacred scroll, for protections. The serpent came for us all. So strong. So strong. It brought the flames. What happened to the scroll? Taken to the new fort. Had it been here, we might have lived. Oh, yes, lived. You hear a tiny whimper. Where is the new fort? New fort, secret. Control of Avernum. Cannot tell you. The scroll would protect you against what? You cannot know. Brought flames. How? So hot, but so fast. I watched myself burn. So much pain. What serpent attacked you? Dragon. Khoth. Mighty dragon. Hated empire. We thought it was weak. We took its scroll, sacred scroll for protections, for penetrating the secret of crystal. Crystal? Blue magical crystal, with the spirit inside, found in cave near giants. Cave where we built new fort. A crystal with a spirit inside. You must not know of it, is secret, powerful secret, and of it I say no more. There's a crystal fort near the giants. Oh, fool I am. Fool am I for telling you the secret of our fort. Must not betray the Empire. Must... Oh, the burning. Alright, so... I don't know if any of this will help us interact with Khoth. And, because we took that scroll back and we know all about it. Take the wands for money, basically. Well, here is this crystal. Here are more of these demon golems. So this looks exactly like the thing right outside the Hoth place, which we couldn't get to interact with us in any way. In the middle of the room, on a carefully carved marble stand, you find a large crystal. Glowing energy swirls around inside it. Peer into it. You stare deep into the mists. They begin to swirl faster and change colors. Soon they resolve into an image. You see an old wizard wearing rich black robes and bearing a staff of black wood. He stares out of the orb at you, examining you carefully. After a moment, he speaks. I was wondering when I would hear from this orb again. It would seem that the loss of this fort is complete. Enjoy your victory. It will be brief, I promise you. Hear me now, worms. I am Garzad. Remember my name. One day, there will be war between us and you, and I will lead the army that disperses and crushes you. Remember what you have wrought. There will be war. Garzad waves his hand, and the crystal orb shatters. The mist dissipates slowly into the air. Okay. So that was just another seeing crystal thing. Alright, so we've got that. Maybe we can, at this point, interact with Khoth again about that scroll, since we now officially know where it is. So let's go... We just dug up something by accident. So let's go back up to Khoth's place. What's all this business? Right, there's a thing that we have to fly over. Invulnerability elixir. Large group of undead wandering around. Let's attack them. Yeah, a lich. Get so tired of the fucking knockback skill. Alright, so this heals 78 to 496. This heals 52. Alright, so Divine Restoration it is. Lich is gone. As you prepare to leave, you notice that one of the zombies has a leather helmet on its rotting head. Amazingly, the acidic secretions of the creature haven't damaged it yet. You take it. Dragon skin cap. Is this just the other way into Grahoth's place? Yeah, it is, but we don't want to go there yet. Let's see if we can now get Khoth to talk about that fucking thing. And be like, hey, we gave you that thing back. Nope. Fine, asshat. I wonder if that's a glitch. I wonder if it's because maybe I did something wrong. I did the order sort of backwards. Right, let's get to our boat, and we will cut this episode off. We've done a lot of exploring. We're going to continue exploring these northern reaches in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you will keep enjoying it, so please hit a thumbs up on this video and consider subscribing to my channel. And if you're not going to do any of that, then I don't care what you do.